Welcome to Home and Away, a Tottenham Hotspur podcast hosted by myself, Graeme and Glenn Cowie, where we talk about all things Tottenham Hotspur from both a match attending and international supporters' view. This episode, I'm flying solo again without Glenn, but I'm joined by Forganes. There we go.
Yes,
I
that's
do
it.
again. Lucas Forganes from Saó
That's
Paulo
amazing. That's amazing.
to talk a little bit about his love of Spurs, the Fulham game on Sunday, and then also to preview the Crystal Palace game coming Thursday. A lot to get through, so let's get into it.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on, closer each day, home and away.
Welcome, Lucas. Apologies again for
Thank you so much.
butchering your name in the introduction. Seems to be my speciality.
I don't expect you to pronounce it so much better than us, so no worries, mate. Seriously, it's a pleasure to be here, a pleasure to meet you, especially for me from Brazil, that not many times I have the chance to talk with Tottenham fans from here. So
Yeah,
it's a pleasure, really a pleasure.
Well, it's really great to have you on. So I found out about you from a friend of mine, Alex Khalil, who I work with, and he's been to a few games with me, and I'm the one that basically converted him into a Tottenham fan as well.
Great job.
He did last weekend, or the weekend before. He said he was with some friends, and some of them were Arsenal fans. So now he said, "I'm never doing it again." So I've trained him well.
Hope so. Hope so.
So,
Really.
I guess the first question for me is why Tottenham? So why Tottenham for you?
I'll try to sum up the whole story behind it, but basically I did an exchange program in London back in 2016 to basically learn English, to get a proper English level so I could go to work and have a proper career here. It was like a 3 months time, so just to study English, but I always loved football. I supported Santos here in Brazil, and a dream of me was to watch a football match, like a proper Premier League team football match. And if you remember well, 2016, Kane, Son, Dele Alli, Eriksen, Wanyama,
It
Dembele.
was a peak Pochettino.
Of course, we were second, just second best to Chelsea's Conte, actually.
Yeah.
But the team was playing amazingly. I got luck to get some tickets to a Tottenham game. Went to the match, and I remember very clearly it was winter, so like 5 degrees, something like that. I walked away from the Seven Sisters station, and then the Google Maps was telling me to take a bus to get up the right road. I decided to just go walking, and you can see it very clearly. Every single house with some Spurs flags, like the whole neighborhood breathes the club. You know, this is not something usual here in Brazil.
Really?
I remember very clearly. There was like a gentleman, a little bit older than, like quite older than me, to be honest, wearing just a T-shirt in 5 degrees, and you could see like very clearly a big Tottenham tattoo here, like the old hooligans thing was in my mind, you know. So this whole atmosphere, the whole stadium, you could see everywhere in the old White Hart Lane. Watch us rise, and Tottenham was in the rise on that moment. So I just felt in love with the football the team was playing, and obviously, after that, I went to 2 matches on that same period of time. We won every single one of them. This guy here scored the hat trick. So yeah, we have great memories.
You're definitely welcome back if we've won every time you've watched.
I went to 10 matches. So
Wow,
I've been back.
that's cool.
Yeah, I've been back 4 or 5 times. I took my wife to watch a match. I'm a member as well.
Fantastic.
One Hotspur member. And obviously, it was just the beginning. For me, it's about to answer you properly, why do I support Spurs? I completely changed my life on that time, because right now, for example, I have a YouTube channel. It's not a football channel, it's a travel channel. I travel around the world. I traveled to 55 countries, and it always started over there in London because I just felt in love about meeting new countries, new cultures, and Tottenham is my connection to that time.
Yeah,
It's always about this. It's always about this connection. Many times it's about family. Like my grandfather supported this team, and he took me to the stadium and so on. For me, it's about the time, one of the best times of my life, I have to say. I love London so much. And obviously, after that, there were many other situations. For example, if you look back here, this is a Harry Kane jersey he gave me. In a football. Yeah, I went over there with a big sign in 2019, my first match in the new stadium. He saw it, gave me the jersey, we shook hands like a proper handshake, you know. I started crying like a baby. So there are many stories with Spurs, and just keeps going and going. I met Sandro Ranieri as well last year.
I love Sandro.
He's amazing.
He's such a character. He really is like I've seen him a lot going. He does a lot of visits with some of the supporters clubs, and like
Yeah.
he plays a guitar, and
He
he's
does.
he's such a character.
And you can
Such a guy.
imagine,
So disappointed he got injured so seriously, and he never really
absolutely,
recovered.
absolutely. We loved him in Brazil as well. He was playing so well. Like
Yeah.
he was that character already when he was young here. And I met him from my YouTube channel. I was planning to record the Tottenham tour. I have the record here. I still need to edit it and post it on YouTube. But he was there like as a guide, as a proper guide for this specific stadium tour. I didn't know it before. And then he came, like it was me and 4 other guests from Denmark, Netherlands, I don't know. And I just told him in Portuguese, "Hello, my warrior, I'm here." And he was like, "What?" So we became friends. I had lunch with him. So there are many situations that just gets this connection bigger and bigger, you know? So, and I'm not a normal guy. I just love to be different, and support Tottenham in Brazil is just different.
Which brings up a very good point. And the reason that I found out about you, Lucas, was Alex, good friend of mine, showed me a photograph of your signing your wedding certificate, and you happen to be wearing a Tottenham shirt at your wedding.
Yes, it's a very simple negotiation with my wife. Now my wife, before my girlfriend. I think it was in 2017, actually. I just told her, like, kind of joking, but she accepted. You have 2 choices. You have to choose between 2 options. We can marry wearing a Tottenham jersey, or we cannot marry. So she choose. That's very simple.
I think she's a very accommodating woman, and
she is the best, really. She's the best. She's the. It's because of her. It's because of her that we did it. Totally. She's very open-minded for it. But yeah, it was a way to express my passion and express our way of life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Another question. So we tend to ask this to everyone. So you're only, at the moment, you're only 3 hours behind us.
Yes.
In São Paulo,
yes.
right? So it's not that bad. So like
really.
some of the guys in the States who have like 7 or 8 hours time difference can be quite difficult, especially for like lunchtime kickoffs. They meet at the pub at 5 a.m. and stuff like that. So at least you don't have that problem.
Fair play to them.
That's commitment, right?
For me,
I just wonder what does a match day look like for you?
It depends of the time of the day when the match happens. For example, I remember very clearly there was one North London derby that was 8:30 a.m. in here, and I was doing a barbecue right here with some drinks. Like we lost 3-0. I think it was under Nuno, if I'm not wrong, or Conte. I don't remember. Yeah,
it was such a short period. I almost forgot it.
I couldn't after this barbecue, but it's not a big problem here. To answer your question, we have ESPN here, and they show every single match of the Premier League, so it's quite easy to follow it. And we have many podcasts.
This is a very
go on.
It's a very common story that we in the UK is the only place where you can't watch all the games because of they have this 3 p.m. blackout on a Saturday. Yeah. So I always find that a bit frustrating, but hey, it's great that everyone gets access to it, which is great.
We have the access, and we have access to many informations about it. For example, we have a podcast called, in Portuguese, Correspondentes Premier. It's like Premier League correspondents that live in Brazil. They live in London. They are Brazilians, and they record a weekly podcast to bring us the news. You know,
they're based in London.
They're based in all of them are in London.
I'd love to speak to them. That would be
João
cool.
Castelo Branco. We have Natalie Jedra from Sky Sports.
Oh, really?
She's working in Sky Sports right now. She used to work in ESPN, and she's working in Sky Sports.
Ah, okay, cool.
So of course I follow. For example, We Are Tottenham TV is another YouTube channel from Spurs. So it's quite easy to keep watching.
I guess there's so much content nowadays. So,
yeah.
Somebody I had a guest on a few weeks ago. Is a good friend of mine, Ian, who runs he runs a podcast called Poddingham Pod Spurs, and it's basically a podcast about Tottenham podcasts. So he basically he summarizes all the Tottenham podcasts. Yeah, and like there's over 120 Tottenham podcasts and YouTube channels, and so that's a lot of content.
There is a very famous flag. I always see it in the stadium. I think it's in the corner. Cyprus Spurs. I mean, Cyprus Spurs.
I've seen that one.
We are everywhere.
I've seen it all kinds of. So I've got some good friends in some of the supporters clubs, like the Netherlands. So the Amsterdam Spurs supporters, the Norway Spurs, we've had them on a couple of times. Sweden.
Amazing.
So we've had
Amazing.
some really interesting, and it's nice to see them at the stadium as well. Like the one that came the furthest, and I went to a game with him, is Richard and you can probably see his scarf that he gave me.
Yeah,
It's
I can see it here.
Kiwi Spurs from New Zealand.
Oh, mate, that's
He was over.
amazing.
He's expat. He's an English guy living in New Zealand for a long time, but his mother's still here, so he came back to visit his mother, and we went to a game just after Christmas, which was really lovely. So it's it's the furthest person that I've met through the podcast, and then we've met in person. So that was very cool.
Amazing. Hope we have the chance when I go.
Yeah,
to
listen,
London.
of course, but love to meet you if you're ever over again. So
of course, I'll let you know. Amazing.
So I guess we can't avoid it any longer. We really need to talk a little bit about the football.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Although there's not that much good to talk about. I guess I'm assuming you watched the game on Sunday, right?
I watched the highlights because I was in a store with my wife, so I was here with my cell phone, like, okay, let's see. So, to kind of watch the game. But yeah,
it must have been very short if it was highlights, because there wasn't that many for us, that's for sure.
Yeah, I tried. Like, it's not just the highlights. I tried to watch the game, but I was looking to, like, talking to her and watching the game, talking to her and watching the game. So yeah, after that I watched the highlights, but not many.
So I'm really disappointed that we haven't seen any kind of like bounce from the new manager.
Absolutely.
I don't see any response from the players, and that worries me a little bit.
I think, like, of course, I think it's very obvious we have a mental issue with the players. I think there's no secret about it. I don't think they are used to this dogfight, if you know what I mean. I don't know if they realize. I saw a video from an Ali Gold video, and he clearly said it to me. They are like kids. You're crying to them, and they're like, "Here, no, I don't want to listen." That's the feeling I get with this team, you know.
Yeah, and that's what I've been saying it for a while. I said it kind of in January when I thought, you know, I looked at February and I thought I don't think we get a point in February, and we got 1 point. And then this month is harder. I think the games are harder.
With Liverpool. Yeah, I think so.
And what worries me as well is, like, Palace are quite similar to Fulham in terms of the way they set up.
Transitional.
Exactly. A counter-attack. They'll be quite solid, and then they'll hit us on the break. And that's exactly what Fulham did. And we were exposed so easily. It was 2-1, but we could easily have been 3 or 4 down by the time we got the one goal back. And I think the scoreline almost flattered us in the end. It was a really poor.
It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. Absolutely. I agree with you. And I just think it's less about the tactics and much more about your imposing yourself.
Yeah.
You can see the team is not imposing yourself physically enough. You know, listen, we have Bissouma, we had Gallagher, which one was the other one playing? Alinea. And we were not able to impose ourselves in the middle.
Yeah, it was a bit weird as well, because he didn't start with Dance so much, because Dance was fit enough to be on the bench.
Yeah.
But he didn't start. And then we started with Gray as a left wing back. So we had some really weird team selection choices, I thought. I can see, I understand what he's trying to do with Gallagher. Like, I think because he's supposed to be all energy, high press, and like forcing the other teams to make mistakes in their own half so that we can turn the ball over and win the ball higher up the pitch. But it's just not working for me. Like, he's not been very good.
I think Gallagher represents a lot of our problems right now, because if you see him play in the past in Chelsea, Palace, even in Atletico Madrid, he was this energetic guy. And when you see him at Spurs, he's like another player like the others without the energy. Clearly, the problem is not about of course, the problem is about the players, but it's a bigger issue. You know, I think it's
because it's not like individual player issues. It's almost like
exactly.
There's an issue with the whole group.
They're all lost. You know, you don't have a unit over there.
And I think I'm a bit worried, because I'm not sure that Romero's the guy to kind of, you know, it was absolutely terrible timing for him to be out for 4 matches.
But who is better than him to do it? You know what I mean?
No,
like,
he's
I don't
the
know.
most. Yeah, exactly. But I did read that he only has to get another. When he comes back, if he gets one more yellow, he's out again. So
no, seriously.
I think so, yeah. So, like, it's like walking a tightrope for and we can't afford. I mean, I'll be honest, Dragusin's been awful, really poor.
I do agree with that.
I wish he was as good as his agent says he is, because his
Yeah,
agent is a
absolutely.
very vocal man who talks him
I
up a
know.
lot. And
I
if
know
he's
it.
really, I'd love if Inter Milan want to buy him, then I'd be quite happy to sell him at the moment. But
And look, I don't understand the point from the start of the season on loaning out Vuskovic. Seriously. Like, I remember him from the beginning when we signed him from Hajduk Split. I remember, actually, I think it was 2022 or 23. I visited Croatia and I was in Split, his past team. And
yeah,
people over there were already talking about him. He was 16, something like that.
yeah,
And he was like the next
he was
rising
already
star.
first team. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And look, his classmate. This player is
yeah.
is really, really good.
I've watched some of his games in Germany.
He's brilliant.
What amazes me about him is that he's 18 now,
I
but
think he's 18.
he plays like a 28-year-old. That he's got the brain of a 28-year-old. He reads the game
physicality
really
as well.
well. Yeah, it's very grown
Absolutely.
up.
So why are we without him when we need him? We have Draguzin, we have to play Palinia as a centre back. And look, after all, it's the third season we have this injury crisis, so we cannot allow to lose more bodies.
I think what frustrates me more this season is if you look at last season and this season,
Mm-hmm.
Ange had more defenders out for longer. We've actually had most of our first choice back four available for quite a lot of games, and we
Absolutely.
still were losing matches. So like we had probably a similar defensive record with Archie Gray and Bissouma playing at centre back last season.
Davies as well. Davies was playing over there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had a real mixed bag, didn't we? Hardly anyone was playing where they should be playing.
And Archie Gray, fair play to him because he's playing everywhere and he's like just an 18, 19
I got nothing
kid.
but respect for that guy.
Absolutely.
I mean, he probably shouldn't have played more than about 20 games for us so far.
Probably.
Like if everyone was not injured, he's probably played 10 games last season, 10 games this season. But I think he must be going on close to 70 or 80 games over the two. I think he played nearly 50 last season.
And to never been injured with this squad, with this club. Fair play to him as well physically.
We have some voodoo sign over us. I think it's.
I'm starting to get to the point. Again, 3 seasons in a row with this injury crisis. It cannot be just bad luck, I think we really have something inside over there with the medical stuff, with the physios.
And I think that they switched all the medical staff already. So like there's a completely new.
As well.
And I don't think that was the issue. I feel sorry for the guys who got let go because
absolutely
it turns out it wasn't them after all.
It's
but it may
be to not be.
I mean, the training pitches, the pitch itself. Most of these modern pitches have like artificial fibers, woven into the grass to kind of hold it all together. And I wonder if that's causing more injuries. I just can't. I don't really
understand
know.
as well. Maybe it's about I don't know. It could be about the players' physical training as well, like the compromise they have with the physical training, the physical practices. I don't know.
It's kind of a self-fulfilling problem as well. I think the more injuries you get, the more game time the remaining players play. So they become more susceptible to injury as well. So like
it's a cycle.
When you're down to 13 players and they're playing virtually every match, they're going to get there's more chance of them getting injured. Maybe that's part of it.
And we still have the Champions League matches. Very luckily, mate.
I got the notification I got the notification through today for my season ticket window. I can order the tickets tomorrow, I think it is, but I know.
Are you going to do it?
Probably, but like I'm not going on Thursday. I'm not going to the Palace game. I decided I'm not sure I could do that to myself.
Yeah, this is another thing that I mean, I'm an outsider in here. I live in Brazil, but I still remember we were talking about my past in 2016 with the old stadium.
Yeah,
we are suffering a lot with this new stadium, man. I've been there, I think 4 or 5 times watching some matches, and the atmosphere is so different, like from the old stadium. Physically we are not so close to the pitch, so people are not like over there supporting. Like it's not like, for example, here in South America we have La Bombonera from Boca Juniors and many other stadiums. It's completely the opposite, and you can see many tourists. Seriously, I know. It's
changed. It's changed a little bit, like, because now with Son gone, there's a lot less Koreans, I would say, and
maybe you're right.
I wasn't someone. They were actually quite enthusiastic, so I can't argue with them.
Absolutely.
They were always pretty enthusiastic, but also I've really noticed the drop off in attendances this season. Like, and the problem is
Of course.
the club don't care, I don't think, too much because most of the empty seats are season tickets. So they've already taken the money, but people are just not
Yeah.
going. I mean, and I've been really struggling to resell the tickets when I haven't been able to go. It's really hard to get someone to buy them because no one wants to go.
It's always
The
about the product.
and
you
it's
get.
been and we've been served really bad product, and I'm being very polite when I say that.
I'm seeing it from here. Look, ultimately, I think it's about forgetting about the product you're being served and try to support the club because otherwise we're going down. This is a thing for me.
It's the same. It's the reason that I went to the North London derby. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I felt like new manager, he deserved my support. But yeah, so I think his interviews have been very interesting. I think, right, because he's gone from I'm going to do this. I'm not
Yeah.
here to have fun, and he's
Yeah.
after the Fulham game, it was almost
Yeah,
like
I saw it.
this is a much bigger problem than I thought it was.
It was a reality shock, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also there's some really weird rumours doing the rounds that the club are thinking about replacing him if he doesn't win against Palace.
I saw it today and I was, cannot say I was surprised. Seriously. I mean, I was obviously, I think, as many of them frank out, and many of the supporters frank out.
Yeah.
But it always depends, like, what is it about Igor Tudor? Is it really, does he have the profile to actually change our situation? I don't think it is. Like, okay, he has this short-term impact in some clubs, but
the problem is that we haven't seen it yet. And he's only got 12 matches. In fact, now he's only got 11 matches, right? So 11, or is it 10 now? I've lost track.
I think it's 10. I think it's 10.
So it's 10
matches,
and we still need to win 3 of them. And
at least.
We have not got anywhere near a 30% win rate this season. Like our win rate's like 20% or lower. I think it's terrible.
And it's mental. I think we are the 9th richest club in Europe by market value, if I'm not wrong, mate. And we are fighting for relegation. This is absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah. Can you imagine probably you can imagine better than me, if we go down, what is going to happen to our finances, to the structure?
I think the thing is I'm old enough that I remember the last time we were relegated in 77.
You don't look like, mate.
I'm 55. Healthy living.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it absolutely is not. I suppose that's one thing I don't drink. So,
it helps.
I remember it, but the difference now is the difference between getting relegated in 77 season and now is that today the club, the whole industry is built around money. So like in 77, the difference between a League Two and a League One team, as it was at the time, was not so much.
Yeah,
because most of their money came from gate receipts and merchandise, not from TV. Or the TV, it was hardly on TV. Like as a kid, match of the day, highlights, and then maybe 1 or 2 games over a weekend would be shown, like a big match.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, really not much at all. Maybe the FA Cup games would get shown, so it was all on terrestrial, on on BBC or ITV, the national broadcasters, and so really the difference, you'd still get like good gates in 77 for second division matches for Tottenham because people would just go. But now, like a 62,000 seater stadium in playing against Preston North End or Wrexham or any of these other teams that we could end up playing against would be catastrophic, I think.
I think there is a clause in many players' contracts about reducing their salary by 50% if you go down.
Yeah, but then most of them would push to leave, I think, anyway.
Absolutely.
So I think the squad rebuild would be it would happen because I don't think we'd have a choice, because we'd also have to lose probably half the salary weight from the team as well. But it might mean that we finally get the clear out that we've probably needed for a few years now. Like the squad has been poorly constructed with too many average players, too many similar players. I feel like there's a lot that needs to be done there, but I don't. Yeah,
you don't need to be relegated for that.
No, exactly. I'd rather we weren't. I'd rather we just did it do it in the summer while with a Premier League again in the next season would be just lovely.
I'm hoping we have like a very similar situation to Everton a couple of years ago when they fought against relegation for 2 or 3 seasons in a row, if I'm not wrong. And then I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe with the new stadium, they start to go mid-table again, so they're now a proper
I think
team, you know?
finding the right manager that's a good
Yeah.
fit for the team. Like Moyes has always been a good fit for Everton.
Yes, you're right.
And you know, they usually say this is the thing about like, a lot of people have said to me that we shouldn't go back to Poch because
I was going to ask about it.
never go back, right? But Moyes' second time at Everton, and he did it 2 times at West Ham as well, and he did a really good job at both of them.
Yeah.
I think the thing is he understands the club and the supporters, and I think there's a lot to be said for that. And I think that if you think about the first season that Poch was at Tottenham,
Mm-hmm.
he inherited a fairly ugly squad, and I don't mean that they were unattractive men, but
I remember.
it was really a mixed bag. There were some really poor players, and there were a lot of senior players that weren't interested, and he got rid of them all. So we ended up with quite a youthful squad after the first season. He got rid of Cabal, and I can't remember, there's a couple of other players.
Soldado, if I'm not wrong. Soldado as well.
And there's a couple of midfielders. I can't remember the names now, but he really
Paulinho,
just anyone who wasn't
one.
anyone who wasn't on board was gone. And I think and we ended up with like a lot of young players coming through around that time, which was I think became the core of his team going forward. And I think we could kind of do with something like that now, but it needs to be the right person because you need to get the buy-in from the players and the squad and not be afraid to make difficult decisions as well.
And ultimately, we need to choose the right youngsters to be on the team as well and the right experienced players. Because if you look at the squad right now, we do have many talented players, young talented players, Bergvall, Archie Gray, of course. We have Trecusin, we were talking about him right here, but well, he was a young talent. We have Vuskovic that is playing in Hamburg SV right now. And many others.
We've got Mikey Moore, who's been doing really well at Rangers.
Look, Van de Ven is 24 or 25. He's too young. So we have many young players, but where is the spirit of the team? I think that's the problem. I don't see over there like this desire to be a Tottenham player from these guys. You know, it's about like, okay, my feeling is, if we go down, they're thinking, if we go down, I'm just going to another club. This is not my problem, so I'm not going to give 100% here. We have Xavi, another very young talent. That's not Lucas Xavi against Fulham. He was anonymous over there. Yeah. So I do understand your point, and I do agree with the point about Pochettino. I was exactly the same. Don't go back to your roots. Like, not to your roots, but to your old manager that you already sacked before. But I think he's the only one that actually understands the club, even considering we don't have Levy right now, and they had this connection between them.
Yeah.
It's a very different club right now from the one that Poch found.
I hope so. I really hope you're right. I'm concerned that Daniel Levy was the figurehead, but actually it's the same people behind him that maybe didn't invest when we needed it before.
I'm worried you're going to miss him. I'm really worried we're going to miss him.
Which I don't think there's many people who could have predicted any of us saying that.
But
I think that when Poch was the last couple of seasons and he knew that the squad needed this massive overhaul, and he said it in interviews, and like to anybody who would listen, you know, there's no point in having this new stadium if we're not investing in the. I think he said, you know, there's no point building a house if you don't put nice furniture in it.
I think it was Josie that said it. I think it was Josie right after him.
No.
Isn't it?
That's true. I think so. Yeah, we'll see. I guess. That's the summer problem. The other one that's been linked, who I absolutely don't want to see at Tottenham, is De Zerbi, because he's
next Conte.
He's absolutely mental. I think this club is a basket of. It's mad, this club, and the last thing we need is someone who's even more mental than the club is. So I think that would be a bad mistake. And also, I'm not keen on the fact that he seems to have collected sex offenders at Marseille. So like
seriously,
because he's got at least 2 players there that left the Premier League because
I got a point. Greenwood, isn't it? He's over there, I think.
Yeah, and there's a couple of others that have problems as well. So
we need a proper manager. Not just a head coach, someone that can make the connection between the board and the players. to become much better. I think to get it as a unit. And as well, of course, there is a big problem and that big issue many people are talking about. It's the wage structure. I think we're going to sort it out for the next season if we stay up. But
I guess
I think if we sort it,
I think that you're right. I think the money won't be the issue. Let's assume we don't go down. Let's try and put positive.
let's try to do it. Let's
try and hope for it. What I'm then not worried about is the investment in the players and the salaries. I'm worried about the people who will make the decisions on who we buy, because at the moment I do not trust Langer and I do not trust Vinay to make good decisions. Because they've shown that January was an absolute disaster, because
absolutely
we didn't need to go and spend a lot of money, but we needed bodies. Like, we just ran out of bodies. All we needed was a couple of loans or get a couple of cheap
bring
players.
4 or 5 Sousas, no problem.
Just fine. Just have enough bodies that we can at least rotate a few players and keep a few more players fit. And they just decided, well, there's no point investing any money because the injured people will be back soon. I'm like, well.
Raheem Sterling, would you have taken him?
Who, sorry?
Raheem Sterling, would you have taken him?
No. I think he's struggling.
Neither do I.
He went to Feyenoord. Is it Feyenoord? He's in Netherlands.
I think it is Feyenoord. I think it's Feyenoord.
I don't think he's going. I don't think it's going very well for him.
I don't think so. But yeah, just to talk about a little point that we see it a lot in Brazil about this topic. We're too big to go down. In Brazil, we have at least 12 massive clubs, because Brazilian football was built around the states, not around the country, because we are a continental country. So we have 4 big clubs in São Paulo, 4 big in Rio, 2 big in Minas, in many different states. So we ended up with this big structure with many massive clubs. 12 big clubs in one league of 20 teams. You see many of them going down many times. So we see it happening a lot. That's why I'm so much worried about we going down, because it is possible and we see it a lot in Brazil. It's not about just being the heavy t-shirt, We always talk about, Tottenham is about Big Six, mate. This Big Six is over. We have Newcastle, we have Aston Villa, we have many other clubs that are rising as we were in 2015, 16.
Yeah,
and if
exactly.
If we do not wake up, we're going to end up like Botafogo did here in Brazil, Internacional, Grêmio, Corinthians, even Palmeiras. Palmeiras is the second best team in Brazil right now. I saw them going down twice. Just during my lifetime. I'm 31. So it can happen, and people need to wake up for that, seriously.
Yeah, and most importantly, the players need to wake up.
Of course, they do. They really do. Yeah, I'm really worried about it.
Yeah, so I guess we need to think about the next game now at Palace.
Yeah.
So
we do.
I don't know. No, I don't think we've got anyone else coming back. Romero's out for this game. I think this is his last game out.
Maybe Spence coming back.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, because I think he was going to be in the squad, but he got injured.
Me neither. Yeah, me neither.
Because he didn't even make the bench. So hopefully he returns, because it gives the problem is in the way that Tudor wants to play. I think he has to play on the right, because he's right-footed, and he wants wing backs who can get round and put crosses in, and of course he's going to have to cut inside all the time.
If you're playing with wing backs, I think he needs to play on the right. If you're playing with full backs, then I accept him playing on the left.
Exactly. And I guess the thing is that he started with a back 4, which Tudor doesn't usually do. Yeah, it was like I guess he was just trying to play with the players he had available, and that was the only thing he could do. Like he couldn't really have a back 3 without taking Palhinha out of the midfield, and he probably felt he needed him. Yeah.
I think he needed that's the weirdest thing. He had so many defensive bodies over there, like a back line of four back line, and then he had 3 defensive midfielders. He had Gallagher on the right wing, and still we were dominated. That's
they went through us like we weren't there. It was just
exactly.
I don't understand that.
And I'm worried about this next game as well.
Yeah, because as I think we were talking about before, they're kind of similar. They have a similar style. And that worries me. And I think they're more capable of punishing us than Fulham are if we let them.
And they are fighting more for the not being the relegation battle as well. So maybe they have that a little bit.
I think they're almost safe now. They've got like 35 points or something.
Yeah.
They've done really well to get out of it.
They still have Mateta,
given that their manager's already checked out and
Yeah. Would you
it's a
accept
bit of a
him?
mess. No,
Would you accept? No,
no,
seriously, why?
it's too pragmatic. I'd be bored.
Fair play.
It would be like Nuno all over again.
Oh, don't tell me that, mate. Yeah, I do appreciate him more than Nuno, of course. But if you
Yeah,
look at it,
he's been very successful. I've got nothing against
he
the
was
guy,
champion.
but like it's like Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank did a really great job at Brentford. I don't dislike the guy.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
just wasn't a good fit at Tottenham. It just didn't work. Maybe he finds I think he might end up at Palace actually next season.
Maybe. I don't know,
Yeah.
because he was FA Cup winner with Palace. Who was it before him? No one's.
No, it's their
Maybe
first.
he can get. Yeah, he's the first champion with the Crystal Palace. That's my point. So
Yeah.
probably he can get a job in like a mid-table team. Like,
Oh
for
yeah,
example.
no, he won't have a problem getting another job.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
problem.
But about the game, I'm worried as well as you are. I think this had again the big problem for us. I think is the atmosphere, because if you do not start pressing high, like trying to dominate the position, the atmosphere can very quickly turn against us.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main thing. It doesn't matter which one's who's the opponent.
And I don't think that. I think Tudor's had a bit of a honeymoon. Like, he's had a few games where the supporters have been pretty good, but if we have a really bad performance against Palace, that
again
could turn quite quickly.
And it's gonna start turning against the players, not just turning against the coach.
Yeah.
As it was before with Frank, because two different coaches now have the same players. What is going on with these guys? And this is the thing. I mean, as a fan base, I think, not me as well, actually, because in Brazil, but we need to try to support them. It doesn't matter what happens, because it's a dogfight again. It's like what Everton did. I remember very clearly when Richarlison was in Everton and they had this dogfight against the relegation zone, and then the final match.
He scored about quite a few goals in the last few games.
Yeah, he did. He's someone that I really want to see play.
It's funny you should say that.
11.
It's exactly what I was going to say. Is that he really made a difference when he came on against.
He's
Fulham.
a character, man. He's a character,
and he at least will go out and fight for it. So I'd like to see him start against Palace
and Tell as well.
Yeah, that was the other one. Tell also came on and made a difference, and I really thought he did a good job. So I would have them two start. I think
Richie won't feel the pressure, seriously, or at least if he feels the pressure, he's gonna get it in a good way.
He's been there before, right? He's experienced it with Everton.
Yes.
So like,
and
maybe
he's as well.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he's the guy that he's the one who puts his foot on the ball, and then everyone can kind of rally around him. If he can cause some trouble up front, and maybe we can get a goal ahead. I think that we could maybe do something. But
at this stage, we don't need those very technical players. We need the bodies to impose themselves physically, to try to muscle the other players out on the opposition box, try to do something to get headers, to get the ball in the box. So and also we have Porro back. So if Porro and Richarlison could be a good link up to try to cross the ball more,
I'd probably suggest that Gallagher should move back into an 8 rather than playing as one of 2 10s.
Yeah, box to box.
And then maybe Tell could play that kind of outside forward role better, because he put himself about quite a lot. At least Gallagher's got a good engine. He can get up and down the pitch. Maybe Polinia probably sitting deeper, just doing what he does best, like breaking legs.
Absolutely. The big doubt I have in my mind is about Xavi. Where do we play this man? Because if we play him the left wing, you can see he's not like a proper winger. He was much more.
He needs to be in the centre. He has to be.
Yeah.
I would almost suggest that rather than play a 3 or a 1 with 2 behind, I would play a 2 up front with him behind them. So maybe Richie and
Solanke.
And Solanke, I think. I've not seen enough from. I thought we might get more out of Moani because he's played for Tudor before. But I mean, the first game I thought, okay, he looks better, but Fulham, he was awful.
I don't see the needed soul on him to play this type of matches.
He's another one. This is not a guy who's been in relegation battles, right?
Yes.
He's been at big teams that are.
Yeah.
No, it's most of them. Yeah, it's true.
Most of them. Yeah.
And I guess that's a problem from a mindset perspective, I think.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm worried. But I do agree with you. I think we need to play 3 in the back, but with 1 behind the 2 strikers. But also, however, we need to think about Tell. where does he fit in this system? For
That's
example,
true.
is he gonna play? Is he gonna play in Solanke's position as a striker alongside Richie, or is Richie not gonna play? That's another difficult decision I think Tudor has to make. But again,
This is true.
I think it's way less about our formation, about our tactics, and much more about the spirit. The spirit as a team, like, let's wake up. We need to win these games, otherwise we're down. So it's a psychological thing, totally. And again, the fans, we need to be there, try to push them as some South American teams would do. So this is the time we really need to turn up. You know,
so I mean, it goes without saying it's a must-win game, right? We have to win this game.
Absolutely, we
as
have
much
to win any games.
It's kind of it's become a psychological problem that the losing streak. I mean, we need to break it because I think that might kickstart the players again.
And there are many chances of it. It's basically this game and probably Nottingham Forest game.
Yeah,
these are the only two chances we have. Otherwise, we're gonna lose every match. And then we're going to need to just be watching West Ham matches, hoping for them to not win it.
It's true. So, and also, I'd really want to see more of Tudor's identity on the pitch. Because at the moment, I get the feeling that they certainly don't look like they're doing what he wants them to do.
It doesn't look like we changed the manager for me.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what we're seeing under Frank.
Mm.
So that's the thing. But I do agree with you. For example, for me, I know Tudor play with the three in the back. So for me, I was hoping he would do something similar like Conte did, with like three in the back, but pressing high with the wing backs having a major role over there. We're not seeing anything. Of course, you cannot do it with like Archie Gray and Porro. You could, but if you have Archie Gray and Spence on the wings, you're not gonna be able to do so. And it doesn't look to me that he's like very adaptive, as Frank had the image of being someone. So it's a very difficult situation. I don't know if I would rather Ryan Mason back than Tudor, to be honest. Just by the club identity. I don't know.
Somebody who at least understands the club, maybe.
Yes.
I mean,
that's my point.
This was kind of the thing, wasn't it? There was a real lack of people that were a good fit. You felt might get a rise out of the players, but we shall see.
No one did
What's your prediction then on the score?
Oh mate, it's a difficult one. I have to predict a win, doesn't?
You don't have to if you don't feel it.
Let's do a 2-1. Yeah,
I think it'll be. I think it'll be tight.
Richie for the double.
I don't think there'll be a lot of goals. I think it'll be quite tight. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. So 2-1 sounds like a good bet, actually.
I would say 2-1. To be honest, and I do agree with you, and you remembered me about another issue we're having right now called Guglielmo Vicario. Mate, I don't know if I'm trusting this guy any longer. I don't know if I trust him more than Kinski, for example. Maybe that could be a change.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to do it, of course, because Vicario is from the leadership group.
He didn't even make the bench for one of the games. Was it the North London derby?
I think you're right.
Austin was on the bench instead, which is a bit weird because I thought if Kinski had gone out on loan in January, which it looked like there was rumours about him going to West Ham, but when he didn't go, you'd think we'd still want your best goalkeeper, your second best goalkeeper on the bench, right? Either nobody fancies him or he's got a problem and he just doesn't want to be there anymore. I don't know.
Ultimately, at least you're going to improve on your playing from the back. Because
look at what
Vicario did.
His distribution's a lot better. Yeah. Much better.
At least you have this problem solved. Okay, he may not be a better shot stopper than Vicario, but also Vicario is not doing a proper job as a shot stopper right now. So isn't it?
We don't lose anything by trying it, right?
Yeah. That's my point. So 2-1. Let's see if we get it right at least.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
Totally.
I mean, luck has to change at some point. If not this season, then next.
And the next will be easier. I hope it's not easier. Too much easier.
Well, this is the thing, right? I think that the Championship is a very, very difficult league to get out of, because you will enter it with definitely a new manager, whoever that is. Yeah. Your squad will change
massively
beyond recognition.
Yeah,
and then someone has to build something out of the ashes of what we've got left behind. Bearing in mind, the people that are left are the same people that got you relegated, right? So the they're all going to be depressed and not interested, and someone's going to have to find a way to lift the team up. And you can see it. It's why a lot of teams end up going down twice in a row, because
totally.
they've still got the mindset and they can't get out of it.
Luton, for example.
Yeah,
it's a very recent example, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, good example. Yeah.
Yeah, and can you imagine that big, massive stadium, like that spaceship in N17, so having some championship matches?
I don't even want to consider it. But
it's impossible to imagine. It's impossible to imagine. That's why, again, these players need to wake up seriously. The club needs to wake up. Like the president, like Vinay, Johan, to be more active, not just on the media, but also in the backstage with the players. I think this is the moment. Every single person from the board needs to be over there trying to do something. Just show they are worried. So the players then can see, okay, this is a situation. I never saw this guy in the training pitch. This is something very common here in Brazil. When things are going wrong, you start seeing the big guys over there.
It's like Marinakis is very much like that, the Forest owner, right? He's like, you struggle to keep him out of the dressing room. Like he's...
you don't need to act like him. Let's see.
No, please don't. No, please, if anyone's out there, please do not act like him.
Yeah, obviously, but you need to at least show there is a problem over there. Yeah. So the players wake up. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I think maybe the problem is they're so well protected, the players. They have so much money. They have great contracts. They know they can get a job earning more money probably than we're currently paying them. So it's like, it's very difficult, I guess, if you've lost them already, then I don't think there's any recovering from that. And you may as well play the young players and like at least have someone who's got a bit of fight in them, because I think that's what's missing. It's not the technical ability or the formation. It's, as you said, it's the mentality.
Absolutely.
We need mentality monsters. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the squad. Xavi Simons was set to go to Chelsea back in June, July, August. So he is a class player, for example, and we signed him. I remember when we lost Eze to that team that I cannot pronounce the name. When we lost Eze, like we signed Xavi instead. And many people here in Brazil as well, they were saying, I think Tottenham did well in this one. We got the better player maybe, but look what happened. For example,
I still think he's a good player. I don't think we've really struggled to play him or to create a team that plays through him more. He's been marginalized a lot in games, and I think that's been a problem. And I also think it's took him a while to get up to the speed to English football, because it's more powerful
physically as well.
Yeah, he looked like a little kid for the first few games, bouncing off the men. Like
people are muscling out him a lot.
Yeah.
So but right now I think he just passed by this problem. He solved it. Like he's a bigger guy, let's say. But his teammates are not supporting. And this is a thing about the team again. I think that I saw there was one moment in the Fulham match. I think it was Archie Gray saw himself against two guys from Fulham. I think it was Iwobi and another one. And firstly, just look at their situation. Okay, it's not for me to go back. Then Xavi look at the situation. Oh, it's not for me. Then Archie Gray saw himself against two guys. Like, where's the help? And you can see it many times during the matches. You see the players just very much alone, so you don't have options to pass the ball. So then what happens? Vicario kicking the ball out, Van de Ven kicking long balls. So, and this for Xavi.
Yeah, and the long balls, and with Komorani up front, we were hitting long balls at him in the North London derby. He is not the player to bring the ball down from long balls. He's going to lose every time to centre backs. It's a completely wasted kick. We're just giving possession away.
Squad? Like Richie, he's not the best technically speaking, so I don't think it's the best. It's not the smartest tactic to do it with him. Dom Solanke, maybe, but he's very irregular, So in my opinion, at least,
I still think he's struggled to find any kind of form since he's come back from injury.
Yeah,
which is a bit. I think that's fair though. It must be quite difficult to come back after a long-term injury into a team that's dysfunctional like this. Excuse me.
No worries. So
right, well,
that's it.
I think we should probably wrap up. I wanted to say thank you. It's been a really fun chat. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Wait, you're always welcome if you're over. I'd love to go and see
you to Brazil as well. If you come to Brazil anytime.
Well, it's funny. Funny you should say that. But my daughter was in Rio last week.
Really?
Yeah,
Choose well
she
the
was
city. Choose
she was
well.
there. She was there for Carnival. So
Seriously, I've never been to Rio Carnival and
really,
she did it. Yeah, we
my
have
daughter,
Carnival in São Paulo as well.
would is a bit like you've done 55 countries. I don't think she's far
Yeah.
behind you. she's
Okay, amazing.
she's an absolute demon traveler. She did, I think last year she
Incredible.
did Indonesia. She did 5 countries in Central America as well. I think Costa
Okay.
Rica, and I
I've
can't
been
remember all
Costa
of them, but
Rica, Nicaragua,
she,
probably Panama,
yeah, it could be. I can't remember.
probably.
But and then she did some Europe, but yeah, she's always traveling. So I
Amazing.
think
Fair
she's
play to her.
still got Ghana or some later in the year. I think
Ghana.
yeah. So she's done done about. She did another holiday with about 5 countries in Africa as well. But she's
Wow,
like,
it's amazing, amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, I try. Amazing, amazing. Well, it's always a pleasure to be with you guys.
yeah.
I hope I clarified some things about my story here as well
No,
as a Tottenham fan. Yeah.
it's awesome, and what I love about doing this is the amount of different stories we've had. We had people like the guy. There's a guy David in Hong Kong, and it was like.
Mm-hmm.
And how it was because back when he was young, his dad
Mm-hmm.
would let him stay up and watch the Premier League matches with him because the time difference is really bad. It was
Yeah.
like really late at
Mm-hmm.
night. It was the only time he was allowed to stay up late,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of the thing that he had with his dad. It was their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how he became. And then I've other people have similar stories, and other people have got really mad. Alex is a
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham
Yeah.
fan because he's this guy that he used to work with. He really hated. He was an Arsenal fan. So it was literally to be the opposite of what that guy was.
Amazing. Well,
Which I love
you
that.
have the connection. At least you have a connection. He's always
Yeah.
going to remember this guy. Yeah,
And
yeah. It's always about.
yeah, no, another guy,
Mm-hmm.
João. He's one of the Portuguese guys who's a good
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine. He's a Tottenham fan now. Everyone I work with, I convert them. He's
You
like
need to teach me the techniques.
yeah, he's a Benfica fan, but now he has a Tottenham shirt and he's been with his dad to the stadium. So like,
Mhm.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
good at this.
I think that's the only difference for me because I was very clear about my feelings. When I started supporting Tottenham, I completely forgot about the past,
Yeah.
which can be understood as something, well, not so polite with your old club, at least.
Yeah,
But it's always about, for me, it's like you can just have one team that you actually love. And
that's true.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
always joke that I sold my soul to the capitalism, and that's quite right.
I used to. There was a period in the 90s when I couldn't afford to go to watch
Mhm.
Tottenham,
Yeah.
and my brother-in-law at the time was an Arsenal fan, so he couldn't afford to go Arsenal. So we both got season
Mhm.
tickets for Leighton Orient in the
Okay.
second division. Like, so
Yeah,
we would
I've
go
been to the
and
stadium. Yeah.
yeah, we had season tickets and we would go together to watch the games there.
Mhm.
So which was quite
Wow.
cool because there were some
Mhm.
quite interesting players that went on from there. Like, but I also remember Dean. Do you remember Dean Richards? I think he was he was Brentford
don't-
manager and he managed Villa as well. But he was a centre back
Mhm.
that we used to watch play.
You're watching the players you watched on the
Yeah.
pitch now becoming. It's the same thing for
Exactly.
me, for example,
Yeah.
with Lampard, Gerrard, and so on.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's
But
quite
yeah,
cool.
you have this. It's always about the connection you build with the club. So that's what happened with me and Spurs. I always say, to be honest, that it could happen with many other clubs. It was lucky for me that it happened with Tottenham. Like I just
Just the
got the
availability
tickets.
of tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. It's a website called StubHub. I don't know if you know about it, but I just
I know of
searched
it.
it for the tickets, and then it happened to have like a Tottenham ticket for a good price. It was pounds, so never a good price for me at least. But it was quite normal prices, so I took the ticket, and man, what an experience! Seriously, on that time to see the high road, the old stadium, with like the small lanterns over there. It's very very British. With the police officers
Yeah,
with
the
the
horses,
horses,
yeah.
very very British. I was drinking a beer in my first match in the streets, and I didn't knew that you cannot drink on the streets, like right in front of the stadium. Then the police officer came with his horse, like, "What are you drinking?" And I told him, "A beer." And he realized that I was not from there. So like, "Okay, you cannot drink here." And I asked him, "Can I have that once instead of just throwing away?" And he was like, "Okay, go." Like even these experiences were really, really touching, really good for me.
Positive. Yeah.
Yeah, positive experiences. So yeah, it's amazing. Like Spurs, I always say it's like the the most important of the least important things in my life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's so cool.
And this is also a tattoo. This tattoo here is the Tottenham Foundation year,
Oh, wow.
1882. So always with me.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's it.
Lucas, it's been a pleasure, really. So
My pleasure, absolutely.
I'll just wrap us up. So thanks to everyone who's been listening. Please like and subscribe to the podcast to tick all the algorithms so we can get in front of more Tottenham supporters, and let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on the Palace game. And to close us out, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on, closer each day, no matter where.